The boy picked up a spoon from the ground and wiped the dust off it. He pretended to be eating. This peculiar action caught the man's attention. The man took a sip of coffee. The boy followed suit, taking a sip too. Then he stirred with the spoon. John mimicked his movements. Finally, he gestured for the man to wipe his mouth. The man looked at this boy with clear eyes. The next moment, he was beside the boy, only to discover the child wasn't local. He'd been wandering for 3 months. The man took him to the police station. They barely recognized the village name, but the officers had never heard of the place. They could only take John's photo, post it on a missing persons notice, then send him to a welfare home. But this was a dreadful place. In India, at least hundreds of thousands of children go missing like this. Here, no one cared whether they lived or died. The children were often brutally beaten, and some even became playthings for the wealthy. In the darkness, the children sang to ease their fear. Finally, John's missing person notice yielded results, but the reporter informed him that in Indian newspapers, it had been published for a month already, and no one had come forward. Then a European couple witnessed the boy's plight. They offered to take John in. The reporter described the beautiful scenery and luxurious villas there, but John remained unmoved. He only wanted to return home, yet he knew leaving required adoption. Before departing, John asked the reporter once more if his mother could be found. The reporter replied they had searched everywhere. Hearing this, the boy agreed to the adoption. His adoptive parents welcomed him with open arms. For John, who had grown up in poverty, this was an unimaginable life. The living room was spacious, the refrigerator overflowing with food, and there was even a television. Yet his adoptive parents treated John like their own son. They took him to play baseball, and even took him out to sea. Soon, John felt at home. Even when he saw his adoptive mother shed tears, John would gently wipe them away, his heart aching. 21 years passed. The once homeless child had grown into a handsome young man. His grades were outstanding, and he gained admission to university. Yet, having left his adoptive parents, he began to yearn for his biological family. One day, seeing the Sugar Ears at an Indian class reunion, John suddenly burst into tears. Memories of the past flooded back. He remembered his brother saying they'd return with Sugar Ears when they got separated. Now he lived well, but wondered if his family was happy. So John secretly began searching for his hometown's location. Using computer data, he discovered the train's speed 20 years ago, and roughly calculated his hometown lay 1,500 kilometers away. Then, using the station where he disembarked as the center, he drew a radius around it, searching bit by bit. Yet after 2 years of searching this way, John still found nothing. So he began locking himself in his room. Finding his family had become his obsession. He dared not even return to his adoptive parents' home. That day, his adoptive father told him his adoptive mother was in poor health. When John returned, the moment he saw his adoptive mother, he felt profound guilt, believing his search was a betrayal. John had always assumed his adoptive mother adopted him because she couldn't conceive, yet she revealed she was fertile. She simply wanted to save someone suffering. She then encouraged him to find his birth family. That day, as John marked points on satellite maps with his mouse, he suddenly noticed a place resembling his hometown. So John slowly zoomed in. The mountains and rivers here, along with the narrow train station, were exactly as he remembered from childhood. He began searching along the satellite map and finally located his hometown village. He cried tears of joy. The next day, he boarded a plane bound for the hometown in his heart. Following the scenes etched in his memory, John discovered everything here remained unchanged. At last, he found the old house, but inside, it had been converted into a sheep pen. John angrily pounded on the wall. The noise drew the neighbor from next door. He quickly pulled out his childhood photo, explaining he used to live here. The neighbor said,